Hello, 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 hello. We're back. How you doing today?
Good.
All right. So I go by the name of Vic, and without any further ado, go ahead and introduce yourself,
And
my friend.
this is me, Oyebanji, Akins, or you can call me DJ All Too Fresh, and we're live on CTDAmongBlacks.
I like that.
Thank
I
you.
like that intro, man.
I've been used to it
Right?
for a while, so
I
you
know.
know, I've become used to the fact that I know how to just say what is in my head. If you wake me up,
You just go.
the line just come easily like that. Yeah.
All right, off the gate, man.
All
I'm
right.
gonna ask you straight up. So how, like, appearance, in our work first, being a black man, let's say being African black, in general black, how has our appearance in our workforce, does it have influence on how we are being perceived? And if it does, I want you to tell me your own personal experience. When I mean appearance, I'll talk about blacks. Okay, let me just give you examples like guys with dreadlocks. For females, it could be how their hair is being done, some sort of like, or tattoo for males and females. And in the workforce, white or any other like ethnicity, seeing that and judging you and calling you out, or just how has that been in your experience? How has that been in your experience? What would you say? Have you experienced that? I'm sorry to cut you. Have you experienced that? And how did you maneuver? How did you get over it?
So first of all, I'm gonna say I'm guilty of what I'm about to talk about too. And when I say I'm guilty, there was a time I was living in Asia, Malaysia precisely.
Okay.
And if I remember the year, I think that this might be 2023. No, 2013.
Okay.
Yeah. And my friend took me to a place where I was trying to draw a tattoo.
All right.
And in my head, I'm like, what the hell? Jesus. Like, what? Why are you drawing? It was like, I just want to do it. It has a whole bed in his chest. And that day I was like, I would never draw no tattoo. I don't care what it is. I'm not going to just... In my head, I kind of seem like it's evil already. Like, since you have that tattoo, you are evil. That's what I know. But fast forward to United States, situationship got me in a place where I was being put to test, actually. And somebody said, if you can, like, the person was like, you can hold the pain of the needle. And it was like, if you can hold the pain, if I'm correct, I think the person says going to give me maybe $700 or $1,500. In my head, I'm like, you Nigeria, you play with me, right? And the person was like, I'll pay for the section too. That I need money. I said, let's go there. So we're like, are you for it? I'm like, you sure you're going to give me the money? Like, the guy was like, yeah. I'm like, let's go. And that's how I got my first tattoo.
Okay.
So my first tattoo was more, I need the money. The opportunity comes, I just jump on it. So while they were doing my tattoo was like 5 hours. I didn't even flinch because the goal was the money for me.
Okay.
So all my pain was turned to happiness because I feel like I'm about to take this money. So the person was like, are you not paying? I'm like, me, pain. I mean, there's no pain here, it's money. So when I got that, it changed everything I know about tattoos.
Okay.
And since I've been in Malaysia too, I always want to have dread. But I'm from a home where we hold on to Christianity a lot. So there's some things I feel like is wrong, basically of how I was raised. Right. So when I moved down to America gave me a lot of more, I was more open-minded to a lot of things. So knowing that, it changed. I become where I almost did a dread. I have it on my head, and I have a couple of my friends that come and say, you are going outside. You sure you still in this? I'm like, yeah. And I see that I could tell that they're like me.
Okay.
And I'm gonna tell you like this, even my tattoo, I couldn't show my parents too. Hey, my mom will cry. Say, devil is a liar in this boy's life. So, but now over time, back to the question, a lot happened to me in America.
Okay.
I was being racially abused, but by black people. The first one I ever had in America was from black people. And it was about how I speak.
Okay.
And I was being told, the work where I was working back then was like, within 3 months, they make me the lead of the team I was working with. And the same people that I was laughing with, they call me out like, nah, you can't tell us what to do. There's no way you from Africa is about it with your accent. I'm like, oh. And me, I'm a very jovial person. We laugh a lot. And that kind of gets to me that I end up leaving the job. It was a lot of things that happened there. And the second one I have in this year, 2023, where... So I was on a job where I kind of passed out. Maybe I passed out, maybe a kind of trip. I don't really know. By the time I came back to life, I had a big cut in my left head, and I went to the emergency because I was working in a hospital back then. And this is in Kansas, anyway.
Kansas?
Yes,
Okay.
Kansas.
Oh, for those of us watching.
Yeah, so this is a real story that happened in Kansas.
Okay, for those of us watching across the country, across the world, Kansas is a state in America, one of the states in America. Kansas City, Missouri.
Thank you for explaining that. And we're live in Houston anyway.
Okay.
And moving forward with the story was like, I got a big cut, then I came back to life. I went to the emergency room, and it was a white guy, and was about to stitch my head. And they asked me like, "Where you from?" I'm like, "I'm from Houston." "How you feeling?" I'm like, "I'm feeling." "And what's your name?" I'm like, "My name is Olumide Akinlode." I was like, "You're from Nigeria?" I'm like, "Yeah." And the next thing I came out from this guy, he was holding a needle, right? And there was another nurse. It was a female nurse. And the next thing it was like, "Oh, you're the African prince that taking all our old people's money."
What? Wait.
Yeah, this is real.
Wait. Can you rewind and play?
So before I rewind that statement again,
what did he say?
From Nigeria, I'm a very, very, like, people that know me know I'm very, very from the street.
Right.
Like, when I say street, there's a lot of things that happen in Nigeria.
Right.
So, and I know if I keep on in that world, I will not last in America. So I had to subconsciously talk to myself to kill some kind of rage.
Okay.
So when the guy told me like, "Oh, you're the African prince that be taking our old white people's money," I look at him and said, "So you said what?" Was like, "Yeah, y'all Africans be the one taking money." I was in pain. I was in shock.
He was telling you right.
And it was holding.
He was holding the needle to stitch you.
Yeah. So
then he was telling you that while you were on the sick bed.
I've tell you this. I've tell a lot of people this story, and they say I'm gonna say it live. They told me I'm dumb. Like, you don't know nothing, bro. You're supposed to become a billionaire like this. I'm like, I don't know nothing. It's
a lawsuit.
Yeah, I don't know nothing about that.
Right.
But one thing I know for sure was the female nurse tapped the male nurse. Like, you're going across the
nurse, the guy that was trying to see you, or doctor?
It was a nurse.
Was a nurse. Okay.
This happened like around 6 a.m. in the morning.
Okay.
Because I was working overnight shift.
Okay.
So it was a nurse. Okay. So there are two nurses. They already put me in the room.
Right.
And when they tapped him, he left. So the other white lady was talking to me, "How you doing? Everything is going fine." I'm like, "Yeah, everything is going fine." So then he came back and said, "I'm really sorry. I wasn't."
And this nurse, was he white?
The white guy. The white people.
White guy. Okay.
Yeah, it was a white guy.
Okay.
So, but the experience I have that it changed everything about my life. Since I've been in America, I've never experienced white people trying to. They might have not been bold enough to say it to my face.
Okay.
They might have said it behind me, but that was the first experience I have, and I think. As at that moment, I could feel when a black American be tell like, the system is is built like this. I didn't know what to do at first because I was in shock of having people to say this, and I'm experiencing it while I'm half dead, half alive. Somebody's about to stitch my head. I think
your state of mind at that time too was just.
I wasn't in the right state of mind to even react. And like I said, I've talked myself out of my rage war. Like, I'm very, very ignorant. Whew, bro, if you trigger that part of me, I always tell people, like, if you trigger that part of me, like, I might end up in jail. So I've killed that part of me never to really come up.
Okay.
I passed out. I came back to life and nurse trying to stitch my head, telling me that it was a lot. And I really didn't process it that time because I was still in shock of I'm alive. What happened? So over time, when I started processing with people, they were like, "Tell me, you could have done this, you could have done this, you could have done that." So
you didn't say anything when he said that to you?
I just smiled.
You just smiled. You didn't tell him.
You really? I'm like, I didn't even say any bad words. I didn't even say, "Do you really talking to me like that?" Right. I didn't even do nothing. Because listen, I'm telling you, I was still in the middle of shock. Like, my life, what happened to me? Like, how did I pass out? Because the last thing I know, I was on my phone.
Okay.
And the next thing I know was I woke up, my head was so big. It was a big cut, like blood was all over the place.
Wow.
And they were even asking me, like, did you pass out or was it a big cut? Because it was so deep.
Okay.
I'm like, I don't even know. Maybe I passed out. So while in the conversation of that was when he asked me that, like, he was saying it to my face, like, "Oh, you're African prince that are really taking money from our old people."
So because of your skin color,
you must definitely
your
being
accent,
a Nigerian,
okay.
It kind of end everything up.
Okay.
And they throw it to me like. So for me, that it has been. I will never know how deep it is for African American in America, but I think that was my first hand experiencing racism, how I try to present myself. And it didn't stop from there because even though after that, the stitch my 2 days later, I went to work. No, the next day I went to work. I was still being subjected. This is fact. This is not I'm trying to like kill anybody's business. I was in the call when they give birth to child.
Okay.
That is where I was. So I was with a nurse. And do you know, I could tell, this is fact, right in front of my face, how they take care of white kids to how they take care of black kids. Right in front of my face. And I was like,
Wow.
that day I told myself, I said, now I understand why when people say that, don't take your life too serious. Because when you're being born, you don't even know who take care of you first, how they take care of you. And how the nurses were taking care of white kids and how they neglect the black one. I was just dumbfounded.
This is you working in labor and delivery.
Yes, now I was just the IT guy.
In the labor and delivery
Yes,
department.
I was right there where all the kids were.
Right.
And the only kids that I see that night,
right?
almost like a week, was, I think maybe they delivered 2 black kids. That's it. Everything was white.
Okay.
So you could tell like black are not really, really welcome. But to end my story is this.
Okay.
I left before my actual time because I couldn't continue the job. So while I was going to the airport, I met an Uber driver. I'm sorry to take the time.
No.
And I was telling the Uber driver, like, I told him, I said, I have this podcast, I'm doing this, but I've never ever experienced this before. Like, this is what happened in this city. And the man was like, oh, the city where you are in Kansas is dominated white people.
And this Uber guy is telling you this?
Yes.
And the Uber guy is what, black or white?
Yes, it was black.
Okay.
So it was like, I have a Ethiopian friend, I have a Nigerian friend, but he's a Northerner, he's a pastor. And he started telling me a lot of things, and it was like, I said, I didn't even come across a lot of black people when I was in Kansas. And the man was like, I'm going to tell you a story that might help you to, see things in a different way. He said there was a day when I was young. He said, I lost everything. I don't have my parents and stuff like that. And he said there was this white woman. He was just picking every black kids around the street. And he put them in a house and he started taking care of them. He said, that was how I was raised. I said, what? The man was like, I'm not trying to take off what is in your head, but I'm trying to tell you sometimes things happen for reasons. Right. And the man was like, the white woman take care of us who were grown up. And I said, I'm going to give you another story again. He said there was a time, this was still the time where they were lynching black people. This man was this guy was talking to my beer around his 50s. He said, so I went to the pond to catch some fish, and my truck was sliding down into the flood. He said some black people were next to me, and I was calling them like, can you help me? Like, he said they would look at me like I don't even exist. He said I had to walk back, and I saw some white people too. He said this time around, you just don't walk up to white people and talk to them. And he said I talked to them like, I came here to catch some fish, and this happened to my truck, and it's skidding down, and they were like, they followed him. And they brought his truck out. He said since that day, when it comes to races, he said it's about individual people. And it was like, I'm telling you like this, I don't want you to hold whatever happened to you to heart about Kansas people.
I like the fact that
this is the Uber driver.
Yes, I like the fact that you just touched into 2 different
Man, I told him and I said, you helped me.
2 different experiences.
Because I was living mad. I was hungry like, man, anything about Kansas, I'm going to say, don't go there. Don't even try to go there. Right. But he was able to tell me like, please, it's individual. It is not the entire city. It's like, I love to be in Kansas. Because I was asking like, why would you stay in a city where they don't even like? It was like, I don't know. For me, I've been blessed. Who raised me was a white woman that doesn't have to raise me. And he said one time that I feel like my life is about to go, they helped me. And they didn't even ask for nothing. They said after they helped my truck out, they just left. It was like, can you take off my fees? And now we don't need it. He said since that day, I've realized it's all about one-on-one thing. It is not the entire race. And people always want to make it about the entire race. And I think that kind of changed me. And that's been my own experience being in the United States. I've had a couple of other issues with, I'll call that one tribalism. About Nigerians. I've worked in different places where I met Nigerians, and there's a way they kind of project me to be. Especially once they know you are Yoruba. Igbo will tell like, you are Yoruba? Be careful, don't. Like they really do it in a bad way. Okay. Like I was shocked, like why would we leave Africa thousands of miles and we're all the same and we still want to fight about tribalism in America? I don't do that. So that's been my experience, but I've been blessed to have both ways.
That's what I'm saying.
So I'm not gonna say to me today. Racism exists. Having tattoo, all those things exist, but I think it's just a personal thing to people, and they want to put it behind every people. If you're a bad person, please make it known to the world that you're bad. Yes, now don't affect the entire race. Don't. If you're a Nigerian that is doing bad, don't affect the entire Nigerian race. Don't affect the entire entity. It doesn't work like that.
You're saying it, but it's hard for an individual to understand that. It's like once they see one person one bad Nigerian or a Yahoo boy or something like that, African, Nigeria, they would just categorize all Nigerians are the same.
Oh, that one is my emblem. What they call it? It's my map here in my front of my head. Like, hey, G. Even on Twitter, they call me names like that. I don't want to go. Right. But I want to ask you a question.
Okay.
Let me switch it.
Okay.
You've been in the medical field, but how has it been for you? I know you got some tattoos. People might not see in this episode.
Right.
I don't know why you even wear that. You don't want to show your tattoo. Why we're talking about that? But my question is, how has it been for you having a tattoo and the one that shows? How has it been for you in the medical world? Because I know you work in the medical world.
I think it's, what's so crazy? Like you said, it's whether we like it or not, they judge you.
Most definitely.
White would just judge. They would just, especially Caucasians, actually, they will judge you right off the gate. They would just look at you and say, "Man, look at this one. Is this one that wants to come take care of me? Are you crazy? You want this?"
But how do you process like every suicide?
Day? You don't let it affect you because you know your job so well. Does that make sense? Like, you don't let, regardless of who it is, it could even be your own people. It could be a black person that you're trying to help. You come into their sick bed and trying to take care of them. They're your patient and you want to see them or help them, whatever way. It could be any culture. Once they see that, right? But mainly Caucasians, I'll say in my line of work that I've seen is mainly Caucasians. They just have this predisposed kind of like thing about you, like maybe he just came out from the jail. Maybe how did he get his license? How is he working here? Why is he tattooed?
How can we help though? What in your world? What do you think can be done? Is it like we have to keep doing more podcasts, things, awareness like this, or what? How? Because the world has become so
unfortunately
accessible now that I don't think people still have to look at people like that.
Unfortunately, this is from my own opinion, right? We all giving our opinion, and I'm giving my facts of what I've experienced. But from my opinion, I think they say charity begins at home. And some of these people, right, that are making this decision, some of these people that are seeing you and judging you based on your tattoos or based on what you have, this is how they grew up in their household. While they were kids, their parents already told them, like, when you have this, it's only the black people that does this. It's only this people that does this. So you stay away from them as much as you can because they're going to kill you or they're going to rob you or they bad. So this is what they've grown, even their friends around them. See, charity begins at home. That's what they've grown up to know at a young age, that this is, you influence yourself with any way, shape or form with that person with a tattoo, with a dread of like, or black, you're going, that's danger zone.
Man, bro, I ain't gonna lie, man.
Without the person even talking to you. So when I do come across that one, then when I try to introduce myself and try to talk to them and try to help them, like, oh wow, he kind of know what he's doing. Oh wow, he's doing this where a lot of people don't even. A lot of people can't even do. People that don't even have tattoos. People that are my color can't even do what he's doing. So they now see that, hey, he's really, he knows his job and he's doing it efficiently. You get what I'm saying? I'm not coming in there because I'm not coming there with an attitude. I'm not coming. This is my livelihood. This is what I love to do. You understand? This is my line of work, and I'm passionate about it. So I'm giving you that. I'm using that passion that I have for my job, and I'm letting you know that I really, really want to take care of you, like, because this is what I signed up for. And I love taking care of people. So if I'm doing that, you will see that. You could sense it. I could tell when somebody is really, really actually care about their job. You understand? And once they see that in me, they kind of lay back and say, "Oh wow." I'll give you an example. I have a friend that has like a tattoo, a whole sleeve, right? And he's like CRNA. He's who works in anesthesia, one of the anesthesia nurse, and he whenever he comes around, like take care of his patient and stuff, like he does something like before he approaches the patient, I could see the patient's face, like, why is this guy with a tattoo sleeve coming to take care of me? Wow. Like, how did he even get his life? Where is he coming from? Like, they're looking around, like, and the first thing they ask him, are you the doctor, the nurses that's gonna give me anesthesia?
They ask him like that?
They'll ask straight up. Most of them because the fear of like, oh my God, this is the person that's gonna take care of me, and this is the person that's gonna decide if I wake up or if I sleep or die in my sleep. You know what I'm saying? So that fear right then and then, that they would judge that person. Now, when this guy opens his mouth and when he starts talking and everything, kind of like ease their nerves a little bit. They're like, okay, he kind of knows what he's doing.
Does your work rate some kind of therapy for you guys for this?
That's a good question. No, you are
is this
trained.
something you guys? You know, I know most big works, they always have meetings. Is this something that even your superior ones know you guys go through it? It's just a normal thing. It's just like, you just got to understand it is what it is.
Wow.
Because the experience you guys are having is,
that's a very good question.
if you're constantly having to experience being subjected to, you don't deserve to do this for me. I agree that you have the hold, right? To help people. But how is there anything in the medical field where I'm just saying, like, the grade where Nigerians, Africans that are coming to this field that go, because this is something that sometimes people got to do therapy for,
right?
Because sometimes some people when you see some doctors, nurses reacted unexpectedly, and you look at them like, what the hell going through you? Because they've harbored this,
that over time, and it's just at a point. It's like when you put a, like, for example, this right here, right? And you keep putting water and just filling it up like you're doing right now, and it becomes overflow. There's a point it's gonna start coming out. You understand? So this is a thing they've been harboring, putting in their heart and everything. Like, I don't know if it's a hatred. I don't know if it's whatever they've been taught. And at one point, that thing is gonna come out.
Most definitely.
So when it comes out, like you experience, when it comes out, it's like, oh my God, now you got to try to retake those words, or try to put yourself in a situation where, like, oh my God, did I just made a mistake? What did I say? Or why did I act like this? They couldn't help. They just can't help it. You understand? They can't help it. So back to your question, I'll actually speak for myself, right? Do some companies, some places that are working?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. How do you manage it yourself for your own case? Is it
My
something
case,
you talk yourself out of it every day?
I won't say I talk myself out of it, because that's going to be a lot of me talking. That's a lot of words for me. I think
No.
I know what you mean. I mean,
Yeah.
I know exactly. I know what you mean. But I'll tell you, I have built this, as long as you don't make it too obvious for me. Like, you don't call me out on it. Most of these things I'm telling you, I just perceive it. You could see it in their face. Some of them are scared to say it. You understand? Most of them, as a matter of fact, are scared to alter those words. I don't want you taking care of me because I don't like your tattoo. I don't like. They won't tell you. In most cases, they won't. But you could see it in their eyes, and you could tell it's real. You understand what I'm saying? The eyes tells a lot, and you could see it in their body language. So my thing is that, going back to your question, as long as you don't tell me that, as long as you could observe whatever you want to. You don't faze me. Just don't bring it out. Has anybody ever come up to tell me? No. Have I experienced it with another coworker? That yes, but personally, no. So since you're not bringing it out there and telling me you don't want me to take care of you because of this and that, because of my tattoos, because of my appearance and black, I don't have a problem with that. It's just an assumption at this point.
I'm about to swipe a little bit out.
Okay.
Have you ever experienced where you have this tattoo and you find yourself in a community of Africans? I'm saying Nigerians.
Right.
What has been your experience having a tattoo? Does your parents know you have a tattoo?
Yes.
Are they cool with it?
My mom. Yes.
Okay. Oh, that's cool.
I mean, it's not like, I won't say. I think the first time she saw it, she was like, she couldn't answer. She was just kind of shocked, but that was about it. You know what I'm saying? Because I kind of grew up a lot by myself, so she has seen
your decisions,
yes,
and the results you've been able to bring to the table. Like, okay,
there you go.
If you decided to do this, I respect you. You know what you're doing.
That's another thing we're forgetting to understand, that your parents will not, once they see you've accomplished a lot without them in their life, or that you've done a lot. I'm not saying in all cases, but most of the time, once they see that they'll give you that respect, that every decision this guy or this girl has done has been a right decision, and look at where he has brought this individual to. Who am I to tell you what to question what you want to do?
That makes sense.
So that kind of answer, yeah.
Thank you. That kind of makes sense. Right. But what about, have you experienced in the terms of Nigerian community or friends?
Oh yeah, even older folks. Yeah, I do. Even I just see, but they don't know. I don't feel any type of way because they don't know me. You know what I'm saying? So I don't feel any type of way because I understand where I'm coming from. I understand the culture. They don't know any better. That's something we always have to understand, that some of these people don't know any better. They thought they just grow. We grow up knowing that when someone has some kind of dreads or this or look like this, you're evil. You're a gangster. You're evil. You know what I'm saying? Like, how?
Until date, they feel like my exactly. Like you're already gone.
You're a devil. The devil has influenced you in this. without actually having a conversation. When you have a conversation, or just being around this person and seeing the genuine love and seeing how.
What makes you get your own first tattoo anyway? I'm sorry, I'm asking about the tattoo.
It was
it something you really just want to do, or
I've always wanted to do that, but I got inspiration from of course I've always wanted to do that, but I got inspiration when I went to Hawaii.
They always have a little tattoo in that place.
Oh yeah. It's kind of like their logo and their slangs.
Yeah.
And
So that's how you got influence into it.
Yeah, kind of like yeah.
Mine is just like, mine came from I need the money. And when I did the first one,
right.
Excuse me, I just went back for the second one myself. And I still want to do more.
Right?
Like I really want to do more. I think
it's kind of like they say it's addicting, but I don't know. I'm not. Another thing we need to talk about one episode about addiction. Some addictions that we have, like what are I mean
that's a big topic.
That's something
I'm just gonna say this about for my own view.
The reason why I brought that up is because a lot of people think having the tattoo, like you keep going back to get more, you keep going back to. I don't see that. Like I don't understand how craving. I
have a definition for the word addiction though.
Okay, we'll talk about that later.
I just want to put it in this a little bit. I just gotta put it right there.
Okay, go ahead.
For my own definition of addiction, it goes like this. For everybody that people might see them they are being addicted to something.
Okay.
There's a lot going on in their life. Personally to me. Now, it depends on how you might say it. My addiction might just be I want to read. That might give me some peace. You calling me out is because I'm doing something you might like. See, for everybody that use the word you're addicted to something, they like part of what you're addicted to. But what they're being scared is this. You're doing too much now. Even though I haven't done it, I feel like you're doing too much. I'm a victim of that. The first time I saw somebody drawing tattoo, I swear for the bar, I said, I will never do this. Right. But me doing that was a part of the feeling that I want to do it too. So the moment I do it.
This is your opinion.
This is how you feel.
Okay.
So when everybody call me out on addiction, now don't get me wrong. Addiction is bad. How you do it is how it's bad. A billionaire will always work. You tell him he's addicted to his work, but he's winning.
Okay.
You understand? I'm not using other factor of addiction. I'm going in the positive way.
Okay, that's where I'm going to, but that's like I said.
Yeah, I'm going in the positive. So if you're listening to this, I'm not going in a negative way. Whatever you're addicted to in a negative way, stay away from it as much as you could do.
I was about to jump.
Nobody's about to be jealous about your wrong addiction. But I'm saying about good parts.
Okay, perfect.
So that's the one I use in my own word. Like if you call me out, I'm like, why are you addicted to this? I'm like, bro, you're playing, man, because this is my happiness. Okay. It's like you saying, why am I addicted to doing this? We're on a podcast. Right. It gives me happiness. We're doing this. So that's what I mean. And people always call us ourselves out on the good ways because they want it. They want to do what you're doing, but they don't know how to do it. So I'm going to call you out. So for me, I always tell people, when you call me out, you just make me realize that you don't know how to do it. So I won't be mad at you. I'm just going to tell you, we can all win. Because that means you see something in me you want to do, that maybe something you feel like you can do and you see me doing it. But anyway, that's that for that. Last question I want to ask you is, what would you like to tell people, in your own opinion, that have tattoo as a Nigerian in America? I intentionally put you on the spot like that.
Oh, man. There's millions.
Now, going through the fact of what you went through.
Oh, that going through? Yes. Okay.
What would you like to tell
I'll tell you, it's not about first thing first. I'll tell you, learn your craft. Whatever your profession is, whatever you're doing, know how to do that job. First. That if you're not there, you'll be missed. If you're not there, the place, the company, the whatever you're working with, feel it like, yo, O2 Fresh is not here. They'll feel it. When you know your craft, bro, you could present yourself in any way, shape, or form. People will still respect you. Not only you knowing, the first thing is to know your craft. When you know your craft to the teeth, right? And make sure you are so good, you're punctual, you're dedicated, and you're passionate about your craft. Once people see, they know it's real, it covers everything. It covers your tattoo. It covers it. They don't even think about that. It's totally relevant to them because you're giving them that piece. You're giving them that result that they pay their money for. You understand what I'm saying? They pay their money to get the best care. They pay their money to get the best product from you So you've given them that. There's nothing to talk about. So even though they look at them like, you know what? This is I can't even talk about this because I got the best care. I got the best from this guy or from this girl. You know what I'm saying? So that covers the whole thing. So my thing I'll tell you is just know your craft. do your research, whatever you work, whatever thing you're doing, make sure you engrave yourself in knowing and being the best of it. Whatever, how you look, dreads, appearance, your tattoos, whatever you have, nail, some people have piercing in the nose rings, whatever piercing you have anywhere in your body, and it's people looking at you strange. Just know that, listen, once I know my craft, once I know what the hell I'm doing down there,
That's it.
I'll be straight. Because all you could, the goal is to come there and give it my 110%, and I'm giving my 120%. So what else can you tell me? My appearance doesn't mean anything to you because I'm giving you what you want, what you pay for.
I like that. My appearance doesn't have to do nothing with you. It's what I'm delivering what you
paid for.
That's the word.
There you go.
Thank you very much for this.
Thank you.
This is just what I'm going to add to it. As a Nigerian, you find yourself in America, please. I keep repeating to people, please be open-minded. Don't be quick to judge people. There's a lot to learn in this country.
Right.
As a Nigerian, there's a lot to learn in this country, and the more you're open-minded, the more it make it easy for you to enjoy this country. Some people will tell, like, I'm only here to make money. If you know you're making money, you're living in the country. Maybe you like it or not, it's going through you. If you're not open-minded to let America go through you as an African, you're losing a lot. And part of what you're losing is the right information you can give people back home in respect of good or bad. If I'm in Nigeria, everything I experience in America, if it's going to happen to me, it will definitely happen to me too. It doesn't really matter. But how I perceive to see the information, my tragedy, determine how I can help somebody back home. There's I always tell people, some people will never get to America. Maybe you like it or not.
Facts.
They will never.
No, that's facts.
But if you pass on the right information to them, they can feel everything you're feeling, and they might be the one to help the next person coming to America.
Wow.
Yeah, because they might be the ones that like, I got a friend. My friend been telling me this. So if you get there, do this. So it goes deeper than how we see things. And like I always say, it's about bridging the gap and connecting the dots. So for everything you know and how you perceive, to give it out, say a lot about the world at large.
Right.
The world we live in is about, you can influence me, you can influence the next person, and that's how it goes. So irrespective of what the world might give to me, America might have given to me, I'm still going to be a representative of the good things. That doesn't mean I'm better than anybody. That doesn't mean I'm trying to be better than you listening to us. It's all about giving out the positive side of you to the world, makes the world a better place. And that's what I will end for this particular episode. Victor, it's been nice having you. And I will give you all the floor to, give us the closing like you started. From my own end, I'm Oyebanji Akins. And you can follow me on all social media as Oyebanji Akins. Check me out. And like I always say, you can call me your fresh too. It doesn't have to make sense. Keep doing it. As much as it's positive for you, the world will join you after a while. Thank you. And back to you.
Look at you, man. See that closing remark. More shaky. Nice one. Thank you very much for this platform again, yes, man. Sir. Can never thank you enough. Thank you very much. And all our audience, everybody watching and subscribing, thank you very much for even tuning in and listening to us and watching us. We appreciate you guys very much. You guys keep us going. Thank you very much. So that's it. And until next time, we say love, peace, stay connected as we continue to connect the what?
The dots.
Bye.
Thank you.